Here we go. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, Charlian.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Do not be so quick to relax.
There you go. Erenville, ever the voice of reason.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Cast off from the docks. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
I'm enjoying that Erenville narration. Reminds me of how Emmett narrated our journey through Endwalker. Really cool. The road to adventure beckons once more. And we shall walk it. Hey, the Gigantender! The promise of a thrilling journey.
You four will compete in the right of succession.
Estinian!
The
Hooray!
who takes my place as Dawn Servant.
Oh, I love his voice. And a contest to determine the ruler of a nation.
Siblings, the ultimate chosen. Our nation can change for the better. I am bound to no one.
Woklamat,
So there,
protector of peace and soon to be Dawn
yeah,
servant.
there are the four competitors then. Okay.
Waste of time. I can always take what I need later.
A path to
Our
discovery.
nation is a fortress, and its people
Oh!
with which it is built.
Valagamonda in ice?
It is through embracing innovation,
Just like
that we will
FF6.
usher Kuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
I wonder if Alphino collected those logs for the fire. He's got experience. And at Journey's End, the legendary City of Gold?
Lived as gods,
They lived as gods.
aging, never dying, free from hardship
Lalafell.
and conflict.
All this time, it was here, the city of gold.
Whoa. Okay. Solution 9? Heritage found? Fraught with untold perils. Valagamonda! Ooh! We saw concept art of that at one of the fan fests. Holy shit! They're raining fire down on Tuliyola. Ah! The lady from the poster!
Much about the key remains shrouded in mystery.
The key.
What in the world is that?
Oh!
What is this relic of theirs? Who made it? And to what end?
I will be the next Dawn servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last.
Okay. That was pretty awesome. Any more?
With your strength, could you have held fast to that which is dear without sacrifice?
Oh, yes. Ah, that was really, really good. I enjoyed that a lot. If you're wanting to avoid any speculation and or theories, you might want to exit out of the video now, but if you don't mind listening to the ramblings of a very excited fan, then stick around, because I'm now about to watch the trailer back again and comment on specific parts which interest me. So, if you're still here, I'm guessing you're ready to do some speculating with me. Let's just watch it back. I'm not going to go frame by frame. I will just every so often pause to talk about something. Yeah. Notice that Graha is on the dock, but Y'shtola isn't. What if Y'shtola has already made her way over to Ral, unbeknownst to us?
Said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits
That would be
the
interesting.
throne. Me, Wukla-mat.
Okay.
So does our ship cast off from the docks.
Right, two things. One, Erenville being the narrator of the story in the similar vein to what Emmett did during Endwalker is going to be fantastic. Like, I loved having Emmett come in at the beginning of each of the zones and give us a little taste of what's to come. I really do hope the same applies to Erenville. The second thing I wanted to talk about is Kryl is suffering big time from the Lalafell ever-present curse, that being the camera never pans down far enough. So we can just about see her little ears at the bottom there before Wukla-mat blocks her completely.
In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
There it is, Tuliolal. The bridge in the background. Very cool. Oh, it's not important for the lore, but look at all that delicious food. And hey, they're reusing that bag model that we saw during that cutscene with Euless back in Garlemald. That food looks delicious, but I want to draw extra special attention to that smoothie down there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The road to adventure beckons once more. And that's Urkapacha. Okay. There's Kryl and Wukla-mat with Alphado. The Gigantender again. The promise of a thrilling journey.
You four will compete in the right of succession.
Now, this was totally unexpected. Estinian dueling Galul Jar Jar? I had visions of us finding Estinian lounging on a beach somewhere with shorts on, sandals, a pina colada, but it doesn't surprise me that he would have found a way to have dueled the ruler of Tuliolal. I really do hope that the gang, which we can see at the bottom here, Alphano, Arlasay, the Warrior of Light, Wukla-mat, Kryl, and Erenville, I really hope we've just stumbled in on this, and after their bout, Estinian's like, oh, hey, fancy seeing you guys here. But yeah, this actually doesn't surprise me at all.
Which will decide who takes my place.
And here I think this is, proper confirmation now of who the competitors are to the throne. We've got Wukla-mat, we've got the Mummel Jar from the poster, we've got Buckle Jar Jar, who was shown off at the very last live letter, along with Kawana, who I imagine is on the right-hand side off screen. And it seems like they're being offered stone tablets. I can't zoom in anymore, but it looks like the stone tablets which we see Kryl hold up during the Dawntrail benchmark. And maybe they are hints as to where they might find the City of Gold.
Dawn Serpent.
A contest to determine the ruler of a nation.
Blessed siblings, the elevated chosen.
Blessed siblings is what two-headed Mummel Jar are referred to in the Encyclopedia Eorzea 1. I'm going to plug my own video now. I did a bit of a story recap before Dawntrail. I'll link it in the description and put a link somewhere if you want to go check it out, but I go over some of these things in that video, and yeah, Blessed Siblings is how they were described back in the first Encyclopedia Eorzea. So it's fun to hear him announce himself as a blessed sibling.
A nation can change for the better. I am bound to no one.
And I'm guessing these people in the backdrop here are going to be that Mummel Jar's allies, in the same way we are allied with Wukla-mat, and again, I'm supposing that Thancred and Urianger are going to be allied with Kawana. Maybe each competitor has some assistants who aid them, and this individual seems to have a Magi of a Mummel Jar and a Viera. Yeah, cool.
To no one.
Wukla-mat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn Servant.
Soon to be Dawn Servant.
I can always take what I need later.
A path to discovery. So there is another one of these stone slates. The one we saw in the Dawntrail benchmark is slightly different. This one appears to show a Marmol jar sat on a pedestal with, I believe, it seems like whoever they're conversing with, maybe it is the Lalafell that we saw elsewhere in the trailer. It looks like they're all enjoying a meal together. Like there's two bowls on the ground before them. You've got these two smaller of stature individuals. It looks like they're drinking out of bowls. Anyway, fascinating. It may well be Lalafells, which I was not expecting on our journey to Toral to run into to Lalafells, but I'm not going to complain.
Is a fortress, and its people.
Valagarmander, entrapped in ice, much in the same way we find them in FF6. I wonder if they are blocking the way to the City of Gold. Like maybe they are a literal physical barrier for people to make their way toward that gateway we see later in the trailer where the Lalafell go inside. But again, very evocative of Final Fantasy VI, because again, that's how we discover them in FF6. And to touch upon another theory, which I'll maybe circle back to later, very, very, very minor FF6 spoilers for this. I'll put a timestamp on screen, skip to there if you want to avoid even the most minor of FF6 spoilers. In Final Fantasy VI, Espers are able to assume a humanoid form as a means to blend into society. I wonder if Valagarmander is that lady we see both atop the poster, but also later in the trailer. Maybe. And maybe they are responsible for the vault itself, the City of Gold. Anyway, moving on.
The bricks with which it is built.
A rich tapestry of history. This mural in the background, we first saw this thanks to Jesse Cox, of all people. I'll have to link his video somewhere or show it off on the screen now. At the media tour, while everyone else was looking at tooltips and, looking at the changes to jobs and stuff, Jesse was doing us lore fiends a solid. He found this cave. I can't remember in which zone, Urkapacha maybe, but inside the cave are several murals, and this was one of them. And it's very reminiscent to me of the murals we find over in the Katana Ravel. Not saying this is done by the same people, but these massive murals on the wall, which we are then able to look at and begin to theorize off of and begin speculating as to what it might mean. Here we can see a sun, a very stylized sun with two eyes and a mouth, much like Teletubbies, I suppose, with birds flying around. But then we can also see bipedal lizards in the bottom left and right hand corner, and then what appears to be maybe a giant. It kind of looks similar to what we've seen of the Yokoi, who are descendants of the giants. Who knows what it could mean, but I for one, love a mural. And that's a pretty good mural, so more of that, please.
It is through embracing innovation that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Now, I'm gonna make the biggest theory of all, and I want you to buckle in. This is gonna blow your mind. I reckon Alphino was the one who foraged that firewood. He's got experience. He's a man of the woods. I reckon he's the one who foraged it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess it was him, or Erenville, but hopefully Alphino. He's got to put his talents to use.
Sure.
Colored with the hearts and minds of a diverse people. Oh, I didn't notice that before. You can see ceruleum come out of the exhaust vent on top of the train, which I am conveniently blocking a little bit. That's kind of cool. And then here, potentially the biggest red herring of all, is this the City of Gold? Lived as gods, never aging, never dying.
Free from hardship and conflict.
Free from hardship and conflict. Fascinating. Very fascinating. I'm going to make another wild theory. Maybe even more wild than the theory about Alphino being the one collecting the firewood. Now, genuinely, buckle in. The last person we see before this cutscene is Kryl. Now, this has all of the hallmarks of an Echo vision. What if these are Kryl's parents? And maybe they left Kryl behind when she was a babe. And that is how Galuf came to be her guardian and put her in that orphanage. And then became her adoptive father / grandfather. I don't know which. I would guess adoptive father. Anyway. Because this look back here feels of like one of resignation almost. Like she's just made a decision that she will hurt her, but feels is ultimately the right one.
All this time, it was...
So what if they are Kryl's parents inside maybe the City of Gold? I say maybe because, again, they're very good at not necessarily revealing everything. But that would be quite interesting, considering I've yearned for more Kryl lore for quite some time, and they might be giving it to us. They might be giving it to us. We know that Galuf Baldesion and his friends made their way around the world and presumably at some point came upon Tural, hence why Galul Jar Jar sought out his aid. Maybe he found it. Maybe he found the Golden City, which I'm going to tack on another theory regarding Erenville. Watching this trailer, and there's a scene coming up, I'll wait until then to pause on it. Erenville had a look about him of not regret necessarily, but he didn't look excited. And if he'd been hunting down the Golden City, as we've been led to believe from what Wuklamat told us in the patch quests, I would have imagined he'd have been bouncing around excitably upon having found it, but he looks knowing almost. Anyway, I'll keep going for now.
Here, the City of Gold.
The road will be a difficult one. That looks like one of the railroads recently constructed in Charloni. Is that Solution 9 over yonder? I don't know. It's tricky because Solution 9 is supposed to be our second major hub city of the expansion. And we have been shown artwork of the denizens of Solution 9, and they appear a jovial bunch, especially that Hrothgar with the boombox over his shoulder. What we see emerge from this purple sphere looks like the opposite of that. Not jovial at all, should I say. Rather quite hostile, which we'll come to look at in a second. But this definitely looks like one of the railroads recently constructed in Charloni, given the recent discovery of ceruleum beneath the earth here. So again, this all matches up with the general aesthetic of Solution 9. The only thing that maybe differentiates it a little bit is on the world map, we see like a spire jut out of the middle of Solution 9 on the world map. We don't see that here, so maybe this is another area completely. Maybe these are a different peoples who have maybe taken Solution 9's tech and used it to become a militaristic force, potentially. Anyway, we'll keep playing because, again, there's something coming up in a second. We saw concept art of that back at, I want to say London Fan Fest? Of what appears to be a train having barged through a perimeter wall of one of these strongholds by this militaristic people. Valagarmanda, amazing. Whatever this is, we see this, or we saw this, sorry, at one of the earlier fan fests in concept art. What could it be? I have no idea. No idea. I imagine this is maybe a precursor to us actually finding that vault where the Lalafelds ran into earlier.
Could it be?
So yeah, we get this scene here. we see this militaristic force. I know I said I wasn't going to go through frame by frame. I just needed to get a clearer shot of this for you guys. Promise. We can see they're walking along the streets of Tuliolal, sowing carnage and havoc. And if Solution 9 is supposed to be our, I'd assume they're going to be our friends if we're going there as our second hub city. I don't think they're related. Unless it's a Yulmore-esque plot where we become friends with the citizens of Solution 9 after we have dealt with their evil leader, as it were. Warriors of Light. That's what I mean, by the way, about that resignation from Erenville. He looks not happy, He doesn't look like he's bustling with excitement at the possibility of finding the City of Gold. So maybe he found it. And maybe he knew the secrets are best left secret. I don't know. And then there's that lady again from the poster.
Much about the key remains shrouded in mystery.
Obviously, the key is meant to be like an hourglass, right? But it also somewhat reminds me of the silhouette of Solution 9 on the world map, which I've just had a realization. Solution 9 isn't on that world map. Do you notice that? It's very clearly missing. How odd. How odd.
Mystery.
What in the world is that?
That looks like we're giving the hourglass to that other competitor, the single-headed Mummel whose name I may have been revealed in the live letter later. Anyway.
What is this relic of theirs? Who made it? And to what end?
I will be the next Dawn servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last.
Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I did just have to cut because I started speaking FF6 spoilers again. Very minor, but nonetheless, I'll have to cut that out. Anyway, I do think this is Vala Garmanda. I really do. I'm going to stick to that theory. When it's wrong, horribly wrong, I imagine, come and laugh at me. But right now, I'm sticking to my guns.
With your strength.
I did want to say there was someone in here who I didn't see in the trailer. This Rogadin. I don't know who that is. I don't think we saw them. Because at first watch, I didn't realize it was a Rogadin, and I wondered if it were maybe Galuf in his youth. But we know Galuf... Do we know Galuf is a Highlander? We see him in some Echo cutscenes from when he was younger, and in Eureka when he's older. I don't think he's a Rogadin. I feel like I now need to Google that, but yeah, anyway.
You have held
we do see what might be him again here. That very well may be the same Rogadin.
to that which is dear, without sacrifice.
I'm now going to take a look at some of the images from the live letter, the screenshots. If you're wanting to avoid those, maybe dip out now. Otherwise, stick around. So the first one that I wanted to very quickly talk about is this. This is supposedly heritage found, but is it just me, or does this look like Alexandria from Final Fantasy IX? Because to me, this looks very much like Alexandria from Final Fantasy IX. What could that mean? We do know that there are going to be nods and references to Final Fantasy IX in the expansion, as Yoshi P has teased, and you can get your Zidane and Garnet minions from pre-purchasing and from the Collector's Edition, along with an Arc mount, which looks amazing. But yeah, what could that mean? What could that mean? I might have to make another video later down the line trying to draw some connections between the two, but that's the first one I wanted to talk about. Next up, there are a couple of screenshots of Solution 9 which look positively futuristic, which I love. I'm not going to be able to sit here and translate any of this text for you right now, but God, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks really, really good. And there's a follow-up screenshot here of what appears to be, to me, it looks like almost like an arcade of sorts, but it might well be where people have just parked on the street. I don't know. There's a bar over there, an image which looks evocative of the soul supply symbol we saw before. Is that a Tyrannosaurus Rex on the far left-hand side wearing sunglasses? I don't know what's going on, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think this is supposed to be a in-game representation of that concept art we saw back at, I believe, London Fan Fest or over in Tokyo. But I believe it's meant to be a version of that. We do also have a little bit more to go off of in regards to who the enigmatic maiden is. Their name for her. In the course of their journey, the Warrior of Light will encounter this maiden shrouded in mystery. What secrets lie behind that tinge of melancholy in her gentle gaze? I wonder indeed. Again, I'm going to stick to my guns on thinking it might be like a human persona of Valagarmander. I'm probably very wrong, but I've got to stick to my guns on that one. I think her design is fantastic. And I mean, if we really do want to dig into it a little bit more, that like clasp, which goes across her waist, top of her legs, looks to me a little bit like Valagarmander, if I'm going to get all theoretical here. It might be a representation of Valagarmander. We've got like the infinity symbol there. Maybe that is evocative of the endless life those who live in the Golden City seemingly have, according to the narration earlier. Who knows? Who knows? Again, I feel like this trailer and what little I've seen so far of the live letter, I think they've done a great job at keeping things relatively under wraps. Genuinely, I'm more excited now than I was before for Dawntrail. I don't feel like any of the surprises have been taken away from us. At least for me, that I was personally looking forward to. So, yeah. Who is she? Who is she? We'll find out soon enough. The last picture I'm going to look at for now is this one with what appears to be the Archon Realm, the legendary Archon Realm, who was mentioned by Kryl in 6.55, I believe. I wonder if this is us experiencing an echo vision through the Moogle, who will serve as our tutor of sorts, in seeing them journey alongside Realm. I believe, I'll have to double check, I'll put it on the screen if this is correct. I believe in the description of Wind Up Realm, it speaks of her as if she were a Lalafell. So it would check out if that is the case. And that will conclude my launch trailer / theorizing for the day. If you've enjoyed yourself, do be sure to do all the normal stuff of liking, commenting, and subscribing. I am trying to upload lore videos and story-related videos as often as I possibly can. My latest two uploads being about Erenville, and the one before that regarding the overall plot as we make our way into Dawntrail, which I think you'll enjoy. And there'll be plenty more to come once Dawntrail is in our hands. For now, though, not long to go until Dawntrail is here, so happy adventuring, happy questing, Warriors of Light, and I will see you all again very, very soon.